Can you get out? I want to masturbate.
I'm talking to Amber. I don't want to hear that. You sit up here trying to satisfy your flesh, and I'm trying to tell you something. Double really got you.
Oh, Mr. Tyrone. I just gotta get freaky for you because you love the hoes.
I don't care if they don't like me. I came here to stunt. Yeah. I don't care if they don't.
Bro. Okay, so if you one of them Christians that don't like to hear about sex, talk about sex, whatever the case may be, you gotta dip, okay? Because this is not the video for you. I'm just gonna be real open and transparent with y'all right now, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm struggling. Your girl going through it, and I need something. I need some type of advice or something, because girl, I am so horny. Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on. I have just been so ready to get down to business, you know what I mean? And it's I don't get it. It hasn't been this bad since I've been in the world. God has delivered me from the spirit of lust before, and when I tell you, there was a point in my life for months where I did not give a dang about sex. It wasn't on my mind. I didn't care. But ever since I've been working to get closer with God and build my relationship with God, the enemy really has been hitting me. And then it's not just the fact that like, oh yeah, I'm just horny. It's like I have options. Like I have so much access to having sexual intercourse, it doesn't make any sense. What I mean by that is there's old flings that have hit me up, people that have tried to come see me that, you know, want to do the business. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not perfect. I've been tempted. I've been wanting to.
Let's stop it here, right? So let's what this girl look like? Oh god dang, got a little body yachty on her. Okay, all right, let's continue.
I've been wanting to, but I ain't did it yet, and I don't know what to do. It's so bad. It's so freaking bad right now. I know I can't be the only Christian going through this. Like what is going on? I know getting horny and all that other stuff is a part of human desire. You know what I'm saying? Because sex wasn't made to be no abomination. It was a gift from God. It just was only meant to happen between two married people because two become one. You feel me? I know that. And then it's like we live in a generation, because I'm 19, you feel me? So my generation, everything in this generation focuses on sex. So it's like sex and the idea of sex is like all around me. Mm-hmm. I tried fasting from like social media and stuff to kind of get that influence like away and everything like that. And it worked for a little bit. I'm getting angry. Like I'm genuinely getting so upset because I don't want to have this mindset. I don't. I want to be pure. You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing. Like I know that that's not going to happen. Like I know I'm going to have my desires. I know I'm going to have my moments. But why they got to be this hard? Like it be times where I just be sitting here like this. Just thinking about it. If any Christians have some like advice, I want it. I want it now. I don't want to think like this. I don't want to be this person. I don't want to be so captivated and enticed by sexual intercourse. I want my mind to be only on Jesus.
Only on Jesus.
But right now, I am going through it. Help me, please.
Well, here's the advice I give to you. Be yourself. See, the problem that I had growing up in the church, I had these issues as well. All right. I've talked about this. I've never really been vocal about it, but I believe I talk about this on my podcast, a couple of my podcast episodes and stuff like that. But I remember growing up, and I remember I used to be a little horn dog. Yes. I'm going to be frank. I'm going to be frank with you. I'm going to be honest. All right. I used to think about it day and night, all the time. Yes, I had my curiosities. Yes, the spirit of lust was deep within myself. Yes. Boy, I could have my time with a spirit of Jezebel. A succubus. Wet dreams and everything growing up. And see, the issue... Well, first, before we get into that, let's look at these comments, right? Candace, she says, the pressure is getting worse. I've been in the same boat. Coco, she says, the closer I get to 30, I want to hump. I be sweating. Another girl, TikTok be screaming for you. Jassy, you're 19, I'm 32, and the struggle is real. Nadoli, she says, I say find something to do. I have noticed that it happens to me when I am idle. Of course, during my fertile time, sometimes I will read my Bible. The devil hits harder when you draw closer to God. The test gets harder and your spirit is really getting tested. It's always the worst around a certain part of my cycle. It is normal. It is a flesh thing, not your spirit. The enemy is using that as an attack on you. Stay strong, stay in the word, and remember what God said. Sounds like spiritual attacks. Sis, you gotta go in your secret place and rebuke them feelings over and over again until they're gone. That is real, and I've been through it. I would say to watch your intake, like what you are consuming, music, TV, people, etc. And also remember that we have to die to our flesh every day. And just because you have a desire doesn't mean that it's a reflection of who you are. Yes, it is. See, these church people trying to get you to turn away from who you truly are. If you desire some ping ping, be front with yourself. Be real with yourself. You want you some ping ping. Now I've looked through your channel and I've noticed you have a little struggle going on.
Lord, I'm split in two. Part of me loves the world and the other loves you.
So,
What do? I wanna be saved, but I gotta stay cool too.
Between being in the world and serving the Spirit. Now, I mean, I've been through that. And I'm going to tell you this from two different perspectives. I've been through it concerning the basis of when I was a Jesus-loving, Bible-thumping Christian. Right? But see, I was so much into the Bible, I didn't care what the world was doing. I was so into the world that I would listen to Christian version, like the Christian version of Chris Brown songs and Lil Wayne. shout out to Trip Lee. Lecrae was my number one rapper to go to. My boy Andy, and so on and so forth. All I need is 116 to serve my king. Romans 116.
We rag up at him daily cause he runs this thing. Can I do it? Yes, sir. Can I do it? Yes, sir.
Come on. I was all into it. But boy, I used to love me to do some things with Dangling. And I would always shame myself because I always thought it was something bad, something internally bad within myself. I would always feel shameful because with the Bible and all this other type of stuff, we're not supposed to give in to lust and temptation and all this other type of stuff, right? I even thought, if I would give in to things that weren't as evil or as lustful as something else, right? It was terrible. And see, stuff like that, to have those type of concepts is just terrifying. And it is not something that people, especially us who are growing up, between the age of 18 to 24, we shouldn't be struggling with these ideas and these thoughts because of what the church and growing up in the church, what these things have taught us to believe in. See, first off, we have to understand that there's nothing wrong with sex. That's first and foremost. We have to understand that whether we have sexual thoughts, whether we have sexual desires, whether we have these thoughts and these desires and what we want to do with somebody, and we have to first understand that there's nothing wrong with having these feelings. It's not sinful to have them. It's not sinful to imagine. It's not sinful to partake. Nothing wrong with it. It's the church, it's religion, and these concepts behind the church and the religion that have taught you that you have to have boundaries, that you have to wait until this time and that time. That's what the church and that's what religion has done. Now, get into the basis of that. That's not to say that you should go out there and just do it with anybody and everybody that you see, or old flings that she was talking about. But if you meet somebody, y'all hitting it off, and y'all want to exchange in some good loving, do so. If you have some good loving with somebody and it's safe, y'all want to have some no strings attached, some friends with benefits here and there, do so. Live your best life, right? And I'm speaking of this from a a non-believer perspective, right? So of course you might not even take what I have to say considerably, right? But if you want to listen to my particular perspective on how I came from Christianity, going into how I see things now, I have a podcast episode on that, so you can check out my podcast in the description box below. But getting back to the basis at hand, what I had to learn down this journey and down this path is that when it concerns different perceptions and ideologies that all have to do with self, I have to first accept these things within myself, right? Now, I could deal with you all day, and this will be a very long conversation concerning the basis on the Bible and doing whatever you want, but I need you to have this understanding that to have this desire to give pleasure to yourself, to want to have pleasure doing other things with other people is normal. Now, where we draw the line is that, oh, you have to do it while you're married. But see, me being the omnius Rome, I have different perspectives on that. So from a religious Christian perspective, you're supposed to wait till marriage. But if you deal with things from a spiritual perspective, you can hold out until you meet somebody that you feel comfortable with, right? For other people, if they both feel in the same energy, they both want to get it on, that's also cool as well. But it get tricky because then all of a sudden now somebody catching feelings, whatever the case may be. So I'm not telling you to get yourself put in certain situations where you catching feelings for other people while they living their best life. I'm not telling you to live your life recklessly. All right. And I'm going to continuously make that disclaimer. But what I'm saying is that you shouldn't feel ashamed for feeling this way. And I feel like with a lot of Christians, especially with me growing up, the reason why we struggle with this desire is because we never been taught how to deal with it. You saw the comment section. Just go to your place, go to your secret place and rebuke it over and over and over again. Just go and read your Bible over and over and over again. Just rebuke it in the name of Jesus. And it keeps coming back. And it keeps coming back. And it gets stronger and stronger. Women over there in their 30s, it gets stronger and stronger, holding themselves back from some good loving when they could have been getting it at 23, 24. Some of them already done did it, but now because they done found Jesus, they holding themselves back from having some fun, some good loving. That is a disgrace. She said it herself. This feeling, this desire, the way that you partake in this union with another person is a gift from the Most High, a gift from the universe. That shouldn't be limited to just being married. Yes, we can say it's a sacred act. It's an act of intimacy and all this other type of stuff. But it doesn't just have to fall in the lines of a relationship. I'm just being real with you. Now, there are different perspectives on this. So, relationship, marriage, friends with benefits, one night stands, smash and pass, all of these things are okay. They're okay. That might be however you want to take that, however you want to take that. But it's okay to feel this way and it's okay to do these things. Now, I understand because from a Christian perspective, you do what you got to do. But it is through Christianity that a lot of us, we live our life because of a God that's looking down below and we don't want to go to hell. But once you understand that hell and heaven are just conditions of the mind, once you understand that the God that you think is up in the sky is within yourself, and you understand that your body is the temple of God, and that every time that you look in the mirror, every time that you talk to yourself, you are looking and you are talking to God, then you'll understand that the way that you're living about on an everyday basis is the way that God is operating on an everyday basis. Once you understand your true power and your true potential, you can live your life the way that you see fit. See, applying yourself to a Bible, as it talks about even in the Bible, that's baby food. That's baby stuff. That's the fundamentals. That's the basics. Do this and don't do that. Thou shalt do this and thou shalt not do that. These are the basics, the fundamentals. But you're supposed to be like God, right? You're supposed to walk and talk and be the word manifested in the flesh. Once you come to an understanding of that, you won't need to apply yourself to a Bible. Once you go through the basics and the fundamentals of what you should and shouldn't do and all the moralism and all this other type of stuff, and then you get on a spiritual level, then you get led by the Spirit. Then you deal with your inner beast, right? As they call the flesh, the beast, the dragon. Once you deal with all of that type of stuff, you have these desires. You can either compromise with them or you can continue to suppress them. But I guarantee you, every time that you keep suppressing that desire, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And the beasts get bigger and bigger because you're not supposed to tame the beast. You're not supposed to keep the beast in chains. You're not supposed to continue crucifying. Now, I understand the concept of crucifying the flesh and getting rid of your carnal desires and all the other type of stuff. But there has to be a balance to everything. Essentially, you're not supposed to slay the beast or crucify the flesh, right? I understand the metaphor and the figure of speech. But you're supposed to align your darker self, your lower self, your shadow self. You're supposed to have that in alignment with your higher self. The reason why there's this constant struggle and fight between your spirit and your fleshly desires is because you haven't been content within yourself. You put on this persona and this mask that you're loving for Jesus and you're a fervent son or daughter of God, whatever the case is. I would know. I was there. I was there all the way. It's not until now and recently that I have come to the understanding that I am God manifested in the flesh. If I want to go out there and get some boom boom, I'm going to go and do it. If I want to go out there and be a HOE, I'm going to be a HOE. Everybody lives their life differently. So I'm not telling you to go out there and be a 304. But what I'm telling you is that you are God manifested in the flesh. If you have access to doing things that you want to do, that you have the desire to do so. Don't miss out on a good time. Don't be like these women in the comment section in their mid-30s still haven't gotten a good man. I'm just waiting for Jesus to give me a good man. Newsflash, Negro, he don't exist. Ooh, I don't want to tell you that one, do I? He don't exist. Jesus is just a symbol, the word, logos. He's just a symbol of yourself. He is a symbol of your higher self, of the Son of Man, of the soul of man, your soul. He's just a symbol of yourself. Christ was just to give a title or a term to the consciousness that Jesus had. And even in some cases, Jesus is a SEX symbol. Yes. But we could deal with that for another time, for another day. Highly encourage that you read Jesus and the Lost Goddess and Mary Magdalene Mysteries, or the Magdalene Mysteries, The Left-Hand Path of the Feminine Christ. Those are two great books in which you can learn that information on Jesus and his endeavors with women. But this constant cycle of you battling with the flesh has to end, because I know it gets tiring. You could see the woman about to break down. She about to give in. She is on her last leg before she gets on all fours. I mean, look, this is something that you really have to deal with within yourself. Like I said, I'm not telling you that you have to go out there and be a 304. I'm not telling you that you have to go out there and just go wild and be reckless. That's some people, they think that that's what I mean when I say to live your life. But if you want to have a couple of people on the side, or you just want to have somebody that you want to experience these type of things with, do so. Miss, you are 19 years old. These women are in their 30s in the comment section waiting for a man that probably will never come because the God that they believe in does not exist. Live your life to the fullest. YOLO. I know that's a worldly perception, but listen, you are within this world, but you are not of this world. Right? I'm actually going to be coming out with a podcast episode soon called Stop Playing Saint. Because a lot of Christians out here be out here They begin to get down, all right? I know we know some people in the church. There'd be some Christians, some nice Christian women, the biggest freaks of them all. The biggest freaks of them all. You think they over there, they praying and over here on praise and worship and all this type of stuff. And they be getting on the get down from Monday to Saturday. Doing what they do best. Some of y'all want to live up to God's, expectations and all this other type of stuff. That's your first problem. Is that you haven't seen the value within yourself. You haven't seen the God within yourself. You keep trying to praise something outside of yourself that's within. You have this desire and you don't know how to deal with it. So the first thing that you try to do is suppress it, push it off, cast it away, get rid of it, trying to kill it. You're just stirring it up. What happens when you shake a whole set of bees? They get mad. They mad, right? Same thing applies to these desires. I'm not telling you to indulge in these desires and have some good loving everywhere. All right? I'm going to continue to say that. But you should cater to these emotions. This is natural. You see this in nature. All right? 2 monkeys don't have to wait until they jump the broom before they get it on. 2 dogs, there could be 2 dogs from 2 different neighborhoods. As soon as they make eye contact, they over there in the corner doing what they do best. The same thing is in a reflection of who we are. It is natural for us to have these desires. It is natural for us to act on these desires. It is natural for us to play it safe and get some good loving. I'm going to tell you how to get rid of this continuous desire to get some good loving. You have to accept it. Accept it. Accept that you are a dirty little hornball and you want to be thudded out. That you want your back blown out expeditiously. You have to accept that you have these desires, that you want to express yourself a certain type of way. What's holding you back is a book. What's holding you back is a religion. What's holding you back is this so-called entity that exists. Once that fades off, what now? Let's say right now you have discovered that this entity that you've been giving all your praise and love to doesn't exist. Now what? Because you're not doing this for yourself. You're doing this to love God. You're doing this to love a certain entity that doesn't exist. So now what? What boundaries, what laws, what principles are you going to set in for yourself? That you're going to set in for yourself. I mean, the church has done a number on women, making them feel dirty, like a dirty rag. They just making women feel dirty for having desires. Dirty for women wanting to express themselves the way that they were created to express themselves. Women can even dress the way that they want to without somebody saying something. All these women, don't let the long dresses and the head wraps, don't let all that fool you. Some of them want to be out here looking like Megan. Some of them want to be out here looking like Ice Spice. But it's worldly. It's worldly. But to who? See, now that's a question you don't want to get into, right? Because of what the Bible has said and what the pastor has said and what religion has said, how the way that Megan dressed and the way that Ice Spice dressed, that's worldly. But let's challenge that thought. Who said it was worldly? God. Because you got to dress modestly. Well, what is modest? And if this particular deity is telling you how to dress, how to do this, I'm not saying there aren't good things in the Bible that you can apply to yourself, but you can challenge these things. The Bible, and this might be another controversial topic, the Bible isn't just the only thing that you can learn from. That's not the only intake or perspective on life. You can be Ishtar. You could be Aphrodite. You could be Oshun. There's more to life than just the Bible. You can't perceive the whole world just through one loop. But let's have a conversation about this in the comment section below. If you want me to go more in depth on this conversation from my perspective, all right, let me know in the comment section below. I may make a podcast episode about this alone. I think I've made a podcast episode about this, but you know, this is a very interesting conversation because I have seen consistent black women on social media talk about their struggle with this desire, you know, and it's very bad in the church because there's a lot of black women who get shamed and condemned for having this desire to do things sexually, to express themselves sexually. That's why they always feel like they gotta cover up and all this other type of stuff. They gotta dress themselves from head to toe. They can't even express themselves. They can't wear anything a little too high, whatever the case is. If they feel like if they have more than 3 body counts, they're 304. They got to confess to God. It's terrible. It's bad. It's something that you got to get rid of. It's this concept of you feeling the need to suppress who you are for another deity, when you're the deity that you should be serving. Anyways, like I said, let's have a conversation about this respectfully in the comment section below. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Share this video with other people. And before you go, check out these other videos.